Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I just got into it with my 9-year-old because he does not, he thinks that he can go to a baseball camp even though he made the all-star team. He thinks the all-star practices are repetitive and doesn't feel like he needs to go on to those practices. He feels like he needs to be on the all-star team but not practice on the all-star team. And I informed him that he had committed, and this is not the way things work. So I think he just woke up on the wrong side of the bed. He'll get over it. I just got back from Consensus. I had a great time. Met a lot of really cool and very nice and smart people, and really had a good time. Sometimes when you get out from behind your computer, you go and you find out we're all not so crazy out here after all. There's a lot of smart people that are listening, and there are a lot of smart people who we can all help each other in our own ways. And so really awesome experience. Okay, I wanted to hit you with this. Now the markets are crashing, everything's falling down around us. I believe, like I've said before, I believe that there is a controlled demolition of the U.S. economy right now. I believe it's all intentional. I believe that our government has known for at least a couple of decades that this thing was gonna. I really think that the financial crisis is when they all got together and realized we've got to redesign our whole system. And I believe that there is a controlled demolition being done of our economy, and what this is going to come down to, and this is the way I'm looking at it for myself. I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't tell you, but the way I'm looking at it, I told you a long time ago, I was making sure I had plenty of cash so that I was ready for this moment, making sure that I was protected, I have my flank protected, and have plenty of cash cushion, and I've been, like I said, I've been buying gold. But now, if you did not invest more than you can afford to lose and all that stuff, now's the time for myself, since I did not, where I can go in and I can look at what I consider to be the assets that are going down with everything else, but are going to rise from the ashes. That's why I always talk about my XRP, XLM, gold, silver, private equity, like Ripple, share. Like here's linked to members and new investors. All our investments today have a 5K minimum. Great day for existing members to diversify, and also for new investors to invest in. Link to Unicorn. All new investors today will receive $1,000 in Link to bucks toward future investments on the platform. So I'll put a link to this in the top of the description if you want to check that out. Now, so here's the market, folks. I've been since 2013. I've been through 4 or 5 or 6 of these things. Okay, everybody's all excited while things are hopping, and people are calling me and texting me and asking me if they should buy and all this stuff. And the truth is that the time to buy is just like there's a reason that on Black Friday there's a line of people trying to get into the stores. Problem is, the average Joe out there does not think the same way about buying investments that they do about buying junk at Walmart and in stores. If they did, they would be extremely successful investors. But on days like today, these are the days that the smart people I know are looking at the market, and they're saying, okay, I'm about to pick some cherries off this tree, and it's like they're salivating. These are the things that the Warren Buffetts of the world prepare for. They've made a whole life out of these days, because these are the days where the money's made. And I have already bought the dip. I'm not going to get into what I bought this morning, but I already bought the dip this morning on one thing. Okay, So look at the market where it dipped below $1 trillion, 983 billion. This market got as high as 3 trillion. Okay. So now I've been in one of these, I think it was 2018 or 19, where this went down to 100 billion in this whole market. So this does not scare me. It wouldn't even scare me if it did go to 100 billion. That's not going to scare me. That's going to excite me because I prepared for this moment. All right. Enough of all that. There's a wave. When you see the wave of things, it really feels like controlled demolition. First, we get this: MicroStrategy's Bitcoin investments is now at $330 million loss. Now, I'm not a person that takes any pleasure in, look, this is one of those things where everybody out there is hurting, and I hope people protected themselves. I hope, for many people's sake, that they didn't buy things on leverage. I've never done any of that. Not in anything, but especially not in crypto. MicroStrategy, that guy's gone all in on Bitcoin, and I think in the long run, if he can hang in there for the long run, he'll do great. But I don't know what his situation is. But then we've got Celsius. They're pausing all withdrawals, swap, and transfers between accounts. Acting in the interest of our community is the top priority. Our operations continue, and we will continue to share information with the community. And then it says, this is Watch Your Guru just in, Celsius reportedly transferred $320 million worth of crypto to FTX before announcing they would halt all trading and withdrawals on the platform. Now, folks, if you take, I didn't put the picture of it in here, but I'll put the link up at the top of the description. But if you take anything away from these things, folks, it's get a Ledger Nano S and put your stuff. I transferred all of mine. I'll put the Ledger Nano S link in the top of this description. I transferred all of my stuff onto the Ledger Nano S in the last few weeks. I had some on there, but I transferred all the rest of it. Not all. I've got some on the platform, but not much. The most of what I have is on Ledger Nano S's now. Then you had this: breaking, Binance announces plans to delist USDT. Folks, this is what's been propping up Bitcoin for the last few years. This. So you have to wonder if controlled demolition means controlled demolition of Bitcoin too. I don't know. But this is a big deal. So Binance plans to delist USDT Tether and advises users to close all positions. And then there was this: investors have sued Binance US over accusations of misleading market prior to UST collapse. Then you got this: Binance, and I don't know if this is true yet, Binance halts Bitcoin withdrawals. I don't know if this one's true. We'll see on that. Okay, now let's get to Gary. This guy was doing an interview with Gary. This is from Wheezy. This guy was doing an interview with Gary the other day, and Gary sounds pretty offended that this guy would dare to ask him about what's going on with these regulators.
Now, if I could follow up on crypto, these are general questions, Chair. So just recently, a bill, I believe, has been floated by Senator Loomis of Wyoming, Senator Gillibrand.
Senator Lummis.
Lummis, excuse me. And Gillibrand of New York.
Now, remember, Senator Loomis and Gillibrand, they said that Gary Gensler told them behind closed doors that Ethereum is a commodity, but he will not come out publicly. Now, this is the same guy. All he ever says is that he's here to protect investors. And my question is, how do you protect investors if you're only talking about what Ethereum is behind closed doors and you won't say it out in public?
Broad outlines of regulation for crypto. And I guess the question is, first, what's your broad impression? Second, just, if you can't answer that, which is doubtful, but what's your overall view on the need for regulation in crypto? And then how well the bill, from what we understand, divvies up responsibilities of regulation to both the CFTC and SEC. How well do you think you can work together to actually execute on regulation of crypto?
So there's a lot you packed in there, and
I'm about to give you another nothing answer.
I've had good dialogues with Senator Lummis, and I've known Senator Gillibrand for years, and certainly worked with her very closely in the Obama years. But whatever comments I might have, I'm going to share with them, not with you and your audience now. And I really haven't reviewed their bill. It was released yesterday.
That's because he doesn't care about their bill. All right, now, this was Jimmy Valley, and James Rule put this out. Jimmy Valley was on a podcast, and I wanted to play this part where he talks about the XRP escrow, and we'll lead into some other things after I do that. Watch.
50 billion, so about half was retained in Ripple, that in December of 2017, Ripple put into a cryptographic escrow.
Now, I want you to remember something here before I play the rest of this, because the escrow is everything. Remember, he just said they announced the escrow in December of 2017. Everything that we watched, all of the conflicts of interest and all the stuff we've watched, began around November, December 2017 with the Brooklyn project. That is when all these and remember, it was January of 2018. Remember, the escrow was announced. That's when you had the run up in the XRP price. That's when all of the all-time high was achieved, January 2018. It was right after this. The next 6 months was spent getting Ethereum and Bitcoin the free pass and holding XRP back. That is not insignificant. That is everything. That is exactly what this has been, folks. That was when they knew that Ripple made a power move with that escrow. That was when they knew they had to do something. That is what this whole SEC thing has been about. Prove me wrong.
And that escrow basically published the monetary policy of XRP. So
who control? I mean, is that not what is at the heart of the SEC litigation? That because there are units in escrow, there is a third party that could affect the value of Ripple by manipulating whether to release those units to the market or hold them. I mean, or am I wrong there?
I think a lot of people, myself included, think that is the escrow is a big part of not only the SEC's claims, but a lot of criticism about the XRP project generally, is that so much has been held back in this escrow. That is not what the SEC has pled in the case, though.
Okay.
They have pled.
All right, I just wanted to cover that part because it leads into this. JV had a great tweet here. He says, question, what's stopping any crypto that's on the market besides Bitcoin and XRP from taking a massive nosedive to zero, causing all of the devs, investors to sell in order to keep their money? The largest holder of XRP can't dump because it's all locked in escrow. Largest holder of Bitcoin can't dump. I don't think technically she could try if they wanted to. Second and third largest holders, Binance and Bitfinex, definitely could dump. All right, now look at this, because CoinDesk and remember, Consensus 2022 was run by CoinDesk. Well, CoinDesk and they did an interview with Joseph Lubin at Consensus, and I believe that they're trying to provide cover for Joseph Lubin and cover for Web3 and cover for Ethereum and all of this by doing these pieces so that they can point and say, oh yeah, see, we covered it. But they didn't really cover it, because you don't really cover it until you find out who the Ethereum disguised whales are. You just touch it just enough to make it look like you covered it. So here they say, how much ETH does Joseph Lubin hold? They're trying to provide cover because the disguised whales video won't go away. All we want is a level playing field. When there's a level playing field, I'm happy to go away, because then we don't have all these conflicts and all this anymore. You've actually got a market where we can find out if Ethereum really is the best platform, or is this juggernaut that everybody claims it to be. Because make no mistake, Bitcoin and Ethereum have the market share they have and are where they are only because of the free pass as a commodity that they were given while the door was shut for the last 4 years on everything else. Without that free pass, those things get their butts kicked all over the place by everything from XRP to XLM to Cardano. That's the fact, Jack, and they know it. And that's what this has all been about. And that's why they're all trying to put on this whole facade. Now watch this, because this interview does not take place without the XRP community, army, whatever you want to call them. This is called, this is an actual asking some questions, but she could have gone further, but kudos to this woman, whoever she is.
You owned 10% of total ETH supply at Genesis. My question to you, given that we're going to be moving on now to proof of stake and where supply...
A lot of elbow grabbing coming up.
Decentralization of Ethereum is so important. Can you tell us how much ETH you and Consensus still control on Ethereum?
No, I wouldn't disclose that personally, but it's never been even close to 0.5%.
Look, I think the wrist grab that he does in the first part of this video, is because his PR people have probably told him, quit grabbing your freaking elbow. Everybody knows that's the tell now.
I'm comfortable saying that. Consensus does, it's a new kind of business. It takes in thousands of different tokens in our work, and so we're certainly not embarrassed that a bunch of the tokens are Ether tokens. We're doing our best to accumulate Ether tokens right now in advance of this thing that called the merge, which you seem to indicate we're gonna just assume is gonna go well. So yay.
To be fair, it could not go well, but yes.
It could not go well.
This guy he's such a passive aggressive guy. It's not even funny. You can tell how angry he is that she even made a comment like that. Think about it. This guy's been protected by all these people for years now, while he hasn't been able to deliver a product, which is ironic, because just the fact that he's the guy who's delivering the product contradicts everything about the Bill Hinman speech and everything they've been saying about decentralization. And he's sitting there fuming, oh, you have the gall to challenge me that we're not going to get it done or get it done right. Whoops, I lost my place here. Hold on.
So yay.
To be fair, it could not go well, but yes.
It could not go well. The biggest value, so proof of stake as it's been constructed in our ecosystem is simply a better system. I encourage people, it took a long time to build this system. I encourage people to go back to
Hey, look, this video is already 17 minutes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pause there, and I'm going to play the rest of this in the next video. I'm trying to quit making my videos too long. So I'm going to pause that here, but I've got so much great stuff that this thing is going to get, things are getting very interesting, and I am going to look at some more dip buying possibly today or tomorrow. I was going to I think the Fed's making a statement today. I'm watching that. That could go either way. It can make the crypto market go straight up or straight down. Either way, I'll be watching it. But anyway, I'm gonna because I've got so much more on this. This thing would have been a 25-minute video if I don't stop now. And I'm just getting back and just getting caught up. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that it's always been about that escrow. Everything you're seeing here is a bunch of bull crap. All of these people know it. That's why they did this interview. And they're on the ropes and they know it. Okay? In fact, I'll go a step further. Without the XRP community, I don't even think I think that their plan all along was to have Bitcoin and Ethereum close the door on everything else and have a monopoly for those two, and that be your crypto industry. And that way they create tokens off of Ethereum only, and it gives the appearance of having an industry. I think because of the XRP community, we were the ones that put a stop to it and lit a fire under these politicians that they better get up there and try to undo the corruption that has occurred. That's what I think. So pat yourselves on the back. Thanks for